Hello, Brotherhood. It's me, Ward on Fire. How you all doing? I'm feeling fitter and better and stronger. After my ordeal last week, I had a fever, food poisoning. Now I'm a bit drunk. I had a little bit of wine. I'm feeling pretty good. I want to throw the lines open tonight for anybody that wants to join the conversation. There's a lot to talk about. I wanted to talk today mostly about male depravity. Depravity, I'm sorry. You know, many men today, they grow up without realizing that they deserve to be loved. They don't understand what it is to be loved. I guarantee you that 99.9% men out there today know how to love, but do not know what it feels like to be loved back. That's what's the sadness in the world, man. You know, only a man can only grow so far. It takes the love of people to rise him up, to rise him above the occasion. He can't do everything alone. And sadly, this world today is really triggered and centered to focus on men's destruction. Men are no longer being taken care of. They're told to self-pursue. They're being thrown out to the dogs of war. They're basically thrown out there to fend for themselves. They're being thrown out there to figure out life for themselves. Sink or swim mentality. While females, on the other hand, are being coddled, spoiled, protected, cared for, adored, worshipped, and loved. It's really quite sad that the world has come down to this. But the sad thing really is that men, because of the way that that's what's going on, is that they can no longer develop properly. You need love in your life, folks. Every human soul is just like a seed. It needs water and nurturing to grow, just like every seed does. You need love in your life. You need to have support. You need to be able to know that if something goes wrong, you'll have somebody to fall back on. And sadly, the men's world is not like that anymore. Now it's you make a mistake, you go to jail. This is no mercy and no forgiveness. That's not a Christ world. That's a satanic world. I wanted to make the lines open tonight for anybody that felt like talking to me. See what y'all have to say out there. And like I said in the beginning of this video, I'm kind of woozy right now. I've had a couple of glasses of wine and I'm feeling quite good. Yeah, I know a lot of guys drink Jack Daniels and stuff like that. I used to drink that stuff, but I swapped over to a different kind of alcohol. It makes me drunk, but it has health benefits to it. I'm drinking port wine, and it's a dark plum red wine. It's made from plums, and it helps to thin the blood, and it packs a punch, really. I've always been a sucker for port wine. I mean, since I was a little kid, you know, I used to go into my grandfather's closet, his liquor cabinet, and grab a couple of sips here and there. I like my wine, but I know a lot of guys out there that drink the Jack Daniels, but that's all to do with that ritual of being cool. And honestly, I don't like Jack Daniels that much. It's kind of nasty. First, it burns the throat, then it just vanishes. I mean, if you like a throat burning drink, I suggest Jägermeister. You know, that's my second favorite drink. But as for right now, I got myself a nasty cheap port, €3 a bottle, and after 1.5 glass, it feels like you've had like 7 glasses of Jack Daniels. You're shit faced almost. Anyways, it's roughly 12:30 in the afternoon in America, so it sounds kind of weird for me talking about drinking. It's 12:30 in California time there, 6 o'clock. I'm sorry, 3 o'clock in the Eastern there. But it's already 9 p.m. where I'm at. It's 9:30 p.m. So hey, I'm out of the drink. But most of my viewers come from America, and you all might be wondering, hey, why is this guy drinking already so early? It's not that early here. Anyways, this is welcome to MGTOW Live. If anybody wants to talk with me, feel free to speak. I left an invitation there in the comment box below. You all can just say whatever you want to. So I was talking about men's emotions. You know, I'm 34 years old, but I spent about 7 years in arrested development between 22 to 29. Basically living in this fantasy of having to have the long hair If I want to be the rocker, I got to be the rocker. I got to drink, I got to do the drugs, I got to have the girls, I got to do all this and that. I was living in this other shell, always knowing I didn't really belong there because that's not who I was, but it felt good at that time to be there. Friends kind of pushed me into it, and I'm a pretty good drummer. So it all fell into place, but really, guys, you got to be yourselves. Just love who you are and appreciate who you are. And I know you don't. I know a lot of men today. They go out looking for love in females and they don't find it. Every guy has his fantasy about a girl, but I don't believe these fantasies actually are genuine. That what we have in our heads does not exist. Not anymore. That is, it used to exist, but not anymore. So we go out seeking female after female, who ends up tearing us down. And every guy I bet you out there can relate to this, that after a woman would tear you down, you'd have no place to turn to. All your friends were gone. Everything you knew was gone. You gave yourself to this woman. All of a sudden, you spent all your time with this woman. And after the relationship was over, you had nobody left in your life. So you feel like you have no place to go. I mean, the suicide rate in the United States already proves that I'm right about this. It doesn't have to be that way. You don't have to go around spending your life trying to be cool, trying to be macho. Life is not a struggle for female acceptance. Life is a struggle for God's love, not female acceptance. You can have any female accept you at any time. That's not so hard. It's not worth spending your entire life fighting for a female's approval. It's just not. You're a man. You have beautiful qualities about you. Go out and use them properly in the world that God gave you. Don't fight for a woman. Don't care. Don't struggle. Don't waste your power on them. Just like the Bible says, don't waste your vigor on those that ruin kings. That is such a true statement. Don't waste your vigor, your time, your energy, everything that is you on those that want to ruin you. I mean, this is written 5,000 years ago, folks, and it was already back then. People were telling us already how bad females were. Just to give you a clue about how truly evil females are, the Bible even writes it as very simply that women's that a bitter woman is worse than death. That really means that if you've dealt with a bitter woman in your life and you survived her, you've conquered death. Because even death is worse than her. I mean, she's worse than death, I mean. So even death is not as bad as she is. Just imagine that. So if you overcame a woman that you've been paying alimony to, a child support to, or who you went to prison for, and you survived her, you conquered death, my friend. Then there's another saying out there, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. That basically means that even hell is not as bad as what females are. Just think about that. And if you survive these females, what kind of champion you are. I'm just kicking back here, sipping my wine. If anybody wants to talk, just there's an invitation in the conversation box below. Description box below. I'm nice and woozy right now, so hey, bring it on. I have no desire to sober up either. As a matter of fact, I might roll myself a joint in a minute. Might. How many guys out there today actually appreciate who they are? Who don't have a low self-esteem worth about them because some female knocked them out. Even my ex tried to knock me out. If they cannot control you, they want to destroy you. If they cannot own you, they wish to destroy you. For if they cannot have you, nobody may have you. That is the story of the narcissist. That is the story of all AWOLT. Recently, I was on this Christian female's channel, and she was confessing that she did not know that men had emotions too. Could you imagine such a statement from men to females? We're sorry, we didn't realize you didn't have emotion. But yet that's how they feel about us. They don't actually understand that we have feelings. I like to destroy a myth out there that suggests that females have deeper emotion than men do. I say men have more emotion in the tips of their fingers than females do in their entire bodies. You see, we men go through things in this life that we cannot explain to others, that we cannot talk to others about, that we have to go through them alone. And then when we come out of them alone, there's nobody there to cheer us on for making it. There's nobody there that says, hooray, you got through it, buddy, well done. There's nobody there that says, hang on, pal, you'll get through this. There's nobody there. We have to do it all on our own. And females today act like they have that same thing with single motherhood, yet that is nowhere near identical. We men go through the situation when we are not full grown yet, when we are not sure who we are ourselves, but we try to make it through this world. A lot of times men are just tossed out into the world before they're even emotionally ready or even have a clue what it's all about. A lot of men also want to leave the house right away, a natural instinct to leave the herd. But a lot of them aren't ready to go out there and face reality. We think we are, but we really don't have a clue until we're out there. Females don't prepare us. Our parents don't even prepare us for what's out there. Our parents really don't seem to understand what we need to have in this world to be strong and stable. I mean, I am a person who comes from a single family home. A single parent home, I should say. Sorry, that's the wine talking. Like I've said, I grabbed myself a glass of cheap port. It's the cheapest shit you could buy, but it packs a punch, man. I mean, it seriously packs a punch. A half a glass and you are shit-faced. It's from Portugal. It's made from plums. Not only do you get shit-faced from it, but the next morning you wake up and you actually have a better circulation through your blood. Welcome to my viewers. I see that I have 3 viewers online. I was talking about males suffering through this world, how they don't understand that they deserve to be loved, they deserve to be cared about, and how great it would be if females decided to actually pick up the rules and pick up the slack where they left off. You see, the 1970s with the sexual revolution, when that came in, very simply, females decided to put up a rebellion against men. This is where they decided to emasculate men, no longer help men, no longer support men, but to be a thorn in men's side. Imagine if men did that today, where we actually decided we're going to be a thorn in women's sides. Could you imagine how quickly they would change their tune? But they did it to us cold turkey. They didn't care what the results are. Even a Christian woman, I mean, she's even admitting herself that she didn't understand that men had feelings. How can you live as a species and not understand the other side of your species also has feelings? How can you sit there so self-righteously saying, I have feelings, but the other half of me does not? You know how self-righteous and egotistical and arrogant you have to be to actually sit there and make that decisive adjustment in your life that men have no feelings? Seriously, do you have you know how insane you have to be? Quite bad. Really bad to actually sit there and think, as an arrogant human being, well, the other half of my species does not have any emotion. I mean, even today as man, even man today, I mean, actually doesn't even think that animals are even that bad. We say that fish have no feelings. But at least we give credit to the bears and to the pigs and to the other animals out there that they have feelings. Females don't even give that to men. So we have a very arrogant upper class today called females. You know, we like to talk about Black history as if they were all slaves on the plantation, but have we ever talked about the black slave woman back then, the Aunt Jemimas back then, what they were used up to, what they used to get up to? You know, these black women used to become housemaids, and they would help run the plantation. They would enslave their own kind, and they would just beat them down by shaming them and putting men into their place all day long. Shaming men, calling them, you're not a man. What kind of wuss bag are you? Get back out there. They would just put men into their place constantly. This is what women do by nature. By nature, this is what they do. They try to control and dominate and manipulate. It's what they do. We've come to a time in 2015 where we've opened up our eyes and said, okay, we're no longer going to be tolerating this abuse. But the cool thing about the MGTOW group is that MGTOW is merely just the beginning of it. You see, it's awakening from the Matrix. But the Matrix is a lot more than just between man and woman. There's a lot more to it, especially when you get into politics. And actually, when you get into world religion, and if you get into the borders of the world, if you get into all that as well, you will see that the manosphere is actually quite bigger than you think it is. It's just time for the rest of the men to catch up to it all. All men need to start becoming wiser and getting onto one page so we can start making bigger changes in this world, other than just opting out of marriage. The MGTOW, to me, the MGTOW group is the key. It is the only chance mankind has to a full-fledged awakening. I am already awoken. I am as awake as you could possibly get. I am through and through the Matrix. I can see the Matrix for what it is. I am Neo. And all I want is for more people to become like Neo, just like me. And I will help anybody reach that. And it is a struggle for all men. It is a struggle. It's a struggle to give up on females, to give up on family life, to give it all up, to understand, to become bigger than the situation, to see the bigger picture. Not sure why my viewers has dropped off, but hey, that's their problem. I'm still here. I'm still talking. But if anybody would like to join the conversation, all you have to do is click the link below and you can join the conversation and start speaking as well. I am going to take a 1-minute break here for a second and check out to see if everything is working. I seem to have some commentary from 2112 Spark. Experience is the best teacher. Laugh in her face. How that's for feels. Hello, 2112 Spark. I'm a little bit drunk right now, so your name is kind of jumping on the screen. I'm not sure if you're still with me or if anybody's still here or not. But if you are, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the conversation. I was talking about the depravity inside of men, how we are grown up to be emotionally drained drones, how we are told that being emotional is bad, how we are taught to be a rock, how we are taught to become emotionally stunted, aka the arrested development. You know, if you look at men today, you'll see that they look like 15-year-old boys of the past. They all got the little mohawk in front of their hair. They all think that they're all cool. They're all trying to hunt women. They're all like the biggest prize in this world is a female. They're acting like children. Hi, Spark. If you have a microphone, you can feel free to join in the conversation. There's a link in the description box below. But I was talking about how men are very emotionally stunted nowadays, yet they have great capacity for emotion. We have a great capacity for spiritual growth. We don't have to be these little shallow beasts that are going out hunting females as if they are the biggest goal in life. There are goals out there way bigger than females, way bigger. And yet we seem to strive as if females are the only goal, as if they are what we need to have to achieve in life. And yet that holds us back dramatically. Not only does it hold us back, but I would say that that's a tool used against us by the Matrix. As a person who has stepped out of the Matrix, I don't want to see my fellow man stuck in that fucking continuous cycle of being a mangina, basically, hunting down the next female to mate with. While he'll just get robbed, he'll lose all of his stuff, and have to start all over again. With that said, I'm going to take a sip of my wine. To my viewers, 212 Spark just wrote, I have no microphone, sorry. And that's fine. I basically made this video today to show everybody that men are being deprived of sex, men are being deprived of lust, men are being deprived of basically art, men are being deprived of love, and men are being deprived of caring. And this happens already at childhood. While little girls are being raised and protected and cared about and nurtured, men are being thrown out there to the school of hard knocks. And they have to educate themselves and hope that they don't get killed along the way. And a lot of men become out very damaged at the end of it all because they have survived for so long that they can't just put it all away. They can't just let it all go. And a lot of men reach that age where they're finally ready to marry somebody, and they are so desperate to have somebody to grab hold of, to hug and say, please don't drop me. I spent all my life getting this far. Don't drop me now. That they'll put up with any kind of abuse a female gives them. Simply because they've gotten this far, they reached that line, and now they're here. They're like, finally, I'm at marriage age. Finally, I can have some love in my life. And then they find out the cold hard reality is that the females don't care about them, and basically throw them in front of a bus, and they pretty much kill themselves at the end of it all. Or they commit suicide, or they focus on their job 24/7. It's like they have no love in their life, that they keep seeking it from any female they can find it from. Any bit of love they'll rush to and cling on to and hope and hang on to it as if it's a life raft and you're sinking on the ocean. The parents are to blame for that. First of all, the mother is to blame for parting with the father, and that the young boy has no father anymore to grow up with so that he can educate himself, and that the father can continuously perk him up every time he goes down. I mean, isn't that what a young boy needs? That every time he has a smack in his face, that his father is there to twist it around and say, hey, son, shake it off. Let's go. Come on, you're my son. Let's move it. Don't let this woman bring you down. Many men don't have that anymore. I dare pretty much say that roughly 60% of all young boys out there today do not have a father in their life. They do not have that person to fall on. They don't have that safety net. When females have problems in their life, they run to their mother. But when a young boy has problems in his life, he runs to where? Alcohol, his friends, drugs, stupid behaviors, sports. He doesn't have anybody that runs up and hugs him. He doesn't have anybody that says, hang on there, it'll be okay. Don't give up, it'll be okay. They have nobody. That's where men like me step in and say, okay, you got me. I might not be much to you. I might just only be on the internet, but I care, man. If you need somebody to talk to, here I am. I care. I think your life is worth something. I don't think you should take the easy way out. How do we change it? Is very okay. To my viewers, 21 Sparks wrote a very nice comment. He wrote, this world could be so different. It all starts with the next generation. How do we change this? We change it by starting correcting the females, by laying down hard on females. You see, if they want to be independent mothers, then we as a society should start demanding that these mothers bring these children up on certain curriculum. We must make sure that these children are educated, nurtured, and well taken care of, or else they should be removed from the home. It should no longer be just about the fact that a woman is a mother, therefore she might be the better provider. It doesn't. Providing means nothing. No child cares if he has a new pair of shoes, but every child cares if he has a hug at night before he goes to bed. It's about nurturing, not about providing. And as long as the world keeps pretending that it's all about providing, then there's not going to be a change. The change comes from when people understand that a child needs to be nurtured, not just provided for. You know, that's the entire American right now mentality, that a woman gets pregnant, has a kid, that puts the kid in daycare all day while she goes off to work. Sure, the child is being provided for. He's getting food in his stomach. He's doing his homework. And he has something to drink. And he has a roof over his head. But all that doesn't matter if there is no love in this child's life. You have to show this child, look, you come more than anything. All my hopes are in you. You are the future. I love you. I want to take care of you. You are a child. I want to make sure that you have the proper education. I want to make sure that you can make something of your life. Whenever you stumble, I will catch you. That's what a good parent does. It's not about just providing. It's not about just giving money. You cannot replace a father with a bag of money. It doesn't work. I mean, we see this every single day. I mean, look at the city of Brighton in England. It's filled with single mother housing. And in these housings, all women live alone with their children. None of these children are happy. They are miserable. They're absolutely miserable. They might have a PlayStation 4. They might have a great stereo and a fucking nice motorbike, whatever, but they don't have a dad. You see, you cannot replace love with money. It doesn't work. That's like trying to replace air with water. It doesn't work. You could try it, but you will suffocate. And that's what's happening to a lot of kids right now. They don't have that everyday role model in their life that encourages them every single day, so they seek it out at stupid false idols like musicians, rap stars, movie stars. They're seeking it out as false idols because they have no place to turn to. So how do you change the next generation? It's just by making sure that the women that have children don't have children by themselves. You just don't do that. You don't raise a child by yourself. It can be done. Doesn't mean it's a good fucking idea. I mean, these females nowadays, they take pride in the fact that they're single mothers. As if I'm a goddess because I can take care of a child. I can play the role of the mother and the father. It's all about the I. It's all about the female narcissism again. Where does the child come into play in all of this? Where's the child saying, hey, it would be so nice if I had my daddy around. It would be so great if I could throw a ball with my dad. Where is any of this? I miss my dad. I want to play. I want to talk to my dad. I want to be with my dad. I'm a child that came from a single family home, a single parent home. I know what it's like to not have a dad, to seek it in every man that came into my life. I mean, I went to dormitory after dormitory, and I'm telling you that the people that were taking care of me in the dorms who didn't care about me, I seen them as father figures. That's all I could do. I had no father figure in my life, so I started seeking it all over the place. I saw it in anybody that wanted to teach me. I saw it in my group leader, for example, my mentor, who rode a motorcycle. So I looked up to him because he rode a motorcycle. He didn't care about me. He didn't care a shit about me. That's fine, but I had no dad, so he became my dad in a way. That's what young boys do. They seek a father figure. And it's really sad when a young boy spends half of his life or 3/4 of his young life looking for a father figure instead of just having one who constantly takes care of him and raises him up above the occasion and says, I'm proud of you, boy. I'm proud of you, son. I've never heard my dad ever say to me, I'm proud of you. Never heard my mom say that either. It sure would be nice to hear, hey, I'm proud of you. But they don't want to give you that anymore. They want to keep you in an arrested development. They don't want to praise you. They don't want to make you feel good about who you are. They don't want you to become something positive. If I had children myself, every single day I would tell them how much I love them, how great they are, how beautiful they could be. Every single day I would let my children know that they mean the world to me. I would never let an opportunity go by where I didn't throw a ball with my son. 2112 Spark wrote, instilled with good morals at a young age, along with love and compassion is a good start. And you're right about two people raising the young ones. Yes, I am right. I know I'm right. Thank you, brother. It is true. If they have good morals, and it's actually not even about the morals. It's simply about the love. If they have love in their life as a child, they will not seek it in others. They will focus on their education. They will focus on their own lives because they have all the love that they need from their parents. They won't go and waste their life at 16 years old getting knocked up because they have the love from their parents. They don't need to seek love in other people. That's what the whole world is doing right now. The whole world is like, love me, love me, love me. Everybody love me, love me, love me, love me. One night stand here, love me. Will you love me? Will you love me tonight? Will you love me? How about you? Will you love me? And every time these people get shot down, no, I will not love you, it destroys them. "2112 Spark wrote, too many are relying on the state to raise their kids. I agree on that, but I think there's a lot more to it. I think too many people are relying on the state, period, that they have removed religion. And I've explained this already, that the fact that, we've taken so much for granted in this world that we've actually forgotten where the family unit comes from. The family unit does not come from the pagan world. It comes from the Christian Judaic world. I mean, as much as we'd like to deny that there might be a God or not, I mean, even if we were atheists, let's just say we're all atheists, you cannot deny the statistics that since the 1950s, since the Bible was removed from school, that the entire world has plummeted. You can actually, I made a pie chart and a video. I made a terrific video showing that since 1954, how everything went downhill. Everything went downhill since 1954, since the moment they removed that Bible from the school. You know why? I can tell you why. If you have Jesus in your life like I do, okay, I used to think as a broken-hearted guy, I mean, I spent most of my life feeling like I was completely unworthy of anything. I wasn't worthy of anybody's caring, anybody's love. I was just this loser of a guy, just making it through life, just a drummer trying to make myself something into myself. Nobody cared to care about me. Nobody should care about me. I'm just a fucking loser until I make money. That was my mentality. I didn't deserve anything. And yet, that is such a self-destructive mentality to have, and you don't even think about it at the time. But it's really self-destructive, and I've seen so many boys be torn down by this. It's like, it doesn't have to be that way. Yeah, I know. You're right. 2012 Spark wrote, daycare, school, and such. Yes, I said that it's not true that many women today are acting like they're proud single parents, like they're doing it on their own, yet they're dumping their children off in daycare all day long, not caring about the child. What's the point in having 3 children if you're not raising them yourself? What's the point of even having one child if you are not raising that child yourself? Then you might as well not have any fucking children. What's the point of raising a goddamn child if you're not raising them your fucking self, right? What's the point? Why not just have one child, raise it perfectly, and then set it loose in society? Look at the black community. With the teenage pregnancies, teenage abortions that are going on there. And I'm not bad-mouthing the black community. I'm just saying that whatever happens to the black community will eventually happen to the white community. Eventually. You see, the United States has always used the black community as a testing ground to place onto the white community later. Like feminism existed already 20 years already into the black community before it ever hit the white community. People need to stop relying on government and start relying on God. I want to make this very clear to everybody. I used to think that women would love me. Women were the ones that were going to give me what I did not already have in myself, love. I thought, I'm a great guy. I already got a lot of my life, but a woman could elevate me to a new level. And the reason I thought that is because my nature tells me this. And actually, if females followed nature, it would be the way that I thought it would be. But since in the 70s they had the sexual revolution, where they decided to rebel against this, men have no longer any woman in their life to upraise them. A woman's job is to raise a man, to evolve a man, to make a man blossom into a man. This is the job of a female. This is what God put in them. That's what God put them here for. That's even how they're going to be judged. You know, every woman that's going to be burning in hell one day is going to burn in hell for the simple fact that she bullied a man, that she didn't obey a man, that she didn't take care of a man. That's the reason why she's going to end up in hell. Read your Bible, folks. Very simply put, a man answers to God, a woman answers to man. If a woman fails to take care of a man, she will burn in hell. While men will burn in hell for not taking care of their brothers, females will burn in hell for not taking care of men. Their number one job in this world is to take care of men. But since the 1970s came by and their sexual revolution of burning their bras and their rebellion, what do you think the rebellion's about? The rebellion's about loving men. We're going to rebel against loving men. And they think they're so clever that men are not understanding what they're doing. Yet we understand perfectly what they're doing, but we're disgusted at what they're doing. Because if we did the same to them, they'd be crawling on their hands and legs, hands and knees, like 10 minutes later, begging us for us to forgive them. If men went along basically saying, fuck women, we don't care what they want, we don't care what they care about, just like they're doing to us today, imagine that world. That's exactly how they're treating us today. They don't care about what we want. They don't care about what we need. They don't care about us. So how about we throw that back at them? Oh, if you do that, you're sexist. Oh, if you do that, you're a racist pig. Psycho world. So it's okay for females to go out there and call us murderers, rapists, and pigs. That's just fine. Calling their dads murderers, rapists, and pigs. Calling their grandpas that. Calling their brothers that. Many people have asked me, did I make my channel because I'm Christian? No. My Christianity only came into play after I made the channel. 2012 Spark wrote, we have lost our way. What do we get in return from the state? Nothing. What do we get in return from God? Love. Exactly. It's a lot more than we get from God in return than love. Because if you know anything about the opening of the gates of hell, when that happens, according to the Bible, one day mankind is going to open up the gates to hell. And when that happens, mankind is going to release this kind of a bug, this divine bug. And it will attack every man on the planet who does not believe in God. And they will be begging for death and not receive it. Death will flee from them. This bug will come out and basically attack every man for 3 months. And its sting is going to feel like scorpion stings. That is what the Bible says about opening the gates to hell. I'm not sure, but what we are seeing with CERN right now in Sweden, that looks pretty promising to be an opening of the gates of hell. Whether it happens or not, I'm not sure yet. There is something big going to happen in September. I'm not sure which thing is going to happen. We have not lost our way. There are still many people out there today who know the way. But you know what the thing is? Evil always yells the loudest. Evil always speaks up and acts like it's a victim. This is why evil is taking over. All evil has done is just raise its voice. If goodness started raising its voice too, we could take it all back. We could have the world running back to the way it was in 1950s, like within 5 years, if we really wanted to. I'm not sure exactly what CERN is doing, but they are pretty stupid. I'll say that much. I mean, even God talks very clearly about a veil between the two worlds. And if they're so stupid enough to open up that fucking portal, well, I'm marked by God. I'm marked as one of God's children. So I don't have to fear these bugs coming out. But I do fear other people having to deal with them. It says in those days that these people will be begging for death and not receive it. That death will flee from it. So whatever these creatures are, they're going to be so holy that even death will be scared of touching these creatures. CERN is going to reactivate in September, but I'm not so sure that's going to be the Jubilee event that we're talking about. I mean, people want to talk about the Jubilee year, you know, the 7 times the Shemitah year. Well, even if this year is the 50th year and it is a Jubilee year, not every Jubilee year means destruction. Sometimes it also means rejuvenation. Sometimes God heals the planet every 50 years. It's not always a punishment. But with that said, there is a bunch of stories that lead up to this Shemitah year and this Jubilee year going to be a punishment. And we can see that when we look back at the crises from 2008, 2001, and so on, back 50 years down the road. That this Shemitah year, that this Jubilee year might not just be a healing year, but a destruction year, which could lead to the dollar collapse, which seems very fucking reasonable to happen as the I'm expecting something to happen on the 25th of September, the 26th of September. Knowing the devil, he might be fucking around a few days. You know, everybody will say, ha ha ha, you Christian fool, nothing happened. Then something will happen. But right now, the things to worry about is Erdogan, the president of Turkey, declaring himself God. There's Chrislam coming up in September. There's the Vatican, mentioning Chrislam. There's CERN opening up the gate. But there's also the blood moon, which could also be the Jewish temple being attacked again. I know about the God particle of Higgs boson, whatever. Higgs boson. The thing is, the Big Bang Theory is a complete lie. It never existed. So if the Big Bang does not exist, how could you possibly recreate what doesn't exist? So when they try to recreate the Big Bang, they're actually going to open up the gate to hell, which is going to be pretty fascinating. And I'm not really fearing it. I think the world deserves a little bit of torment. I think the world could do with a little bit of divine intervention. I think the world could do with bowing down and remember who God is and start serving God. Because everybody talks about wanting peace on earth. If you want peace on earth, serve God. We've had a manual for 6,000 years how to have peace. And nobody follows the manual. I just purchased the new book. Oh shit! The Road of the Ancients, I believe it's called. It's the new one from Tom Horn. It looks very interesting. It's The Path of the Ancients. It's called. I'm really looking forward to read that book. I'm still waiting for it to come in the mail. I also ordered a new microphone, by the way, online, so I can have a great new microphone to talk to you all. It should be in another week or two. It should be in. I wasn't very interested in talking about CERN today. You know, let CERN be what CERN is right now. It's whatever it brings on mankind is kind of asked for. I don't doubt in Christ a bit. I'm 1,000 believer. I'm a 1,000% believer in Christ. 1,000,000%. I have no doubt. When that day comes, man, and everybody's gonna start stung by those demonic creatures, man, I don't want to be around. You can have my old mic if you want me. I can set it up to you, no problem. The microphone works great when I make videos, but when I talk on a live stream, it cracks really bad. But you could buy yourself a nice mic for like 20 bucks on eBay, 10 bucks on eBay. Kind of wish there was somebody here that could hold a conversation with me right now. I've been talking for a while on myself. I've been saying it for years, folks. Females should not have the right to vote. And now you're all going to pay about it. Now you're all going to pay. Told you all very seriously what would happen if you let females vote. That they would vote on impulse and on emotion and not because of what's best. And that is exactly what we're fucking seeing right now with Hillary. All the females in America, oh, we need a female president. We need a female president. It's like they haven't learned a damn lesson with Obama yet. Now they're going to invite Hillary into presidency. Great. You know, Hillary is if she becomes president, she's betraying feminism. I'll show you why. If men and women are equal, like feminists say, then how can Hillary possibly run for presidency? If men and women are equal, that would mean that when her husband was president, she was first lady, and they were equal. Well, he already served his term, so how can she serve his term? She can't. If she becomes president, she is literally saying that women are not equal to men. Think about it. Her husband was already president. She was first lady. If they were equal, that means that they both served a presidential candidacy at the same time. So how could she run again? But why the hell would America vote anyways when it comes down to a Bush and a Clinton again? What's the matter with you fucks? Reminds me of that movie Brewster's Million. None of the above. None of the above. I couldn't believe Obama bought votes with the phone, too. Here's a free radiated phone for you. Take my phone. It's radiated. Here you go. Have a new phone. Have a new phone. Fucking Pied Piper. Obama's a Pied Piper. So is Hillary. They're both Pied Pipers. They're leading their flock to stray. Oh. The stupidity in humanity lately is off the charts. It makes me sick. I never thought humanity would be so stupid. Well, they've always done the divide and conquer strategy. There's nothing new about that. I mean, even Reagan was trying to create division. It's part of the globalist strategy. But here's the typical American thing. Americans only look at their own stupid country. The fact that the globalists have already done this to Spain, Ireland, Portugal, Iceland, and Greece goes way beyond their understanding. Now that it's happening to America, it's like, oh, it's happening to America. It's happening to America. We can't believe it. Oh, my God. It's already happened to 6 different countries. Nobody cared then, right? When Greece got taken out, when Ireland got taken out, when Spain got taken out, when Portugal got taken out, When Iceland got taken out, actually Iceland stood up for themselves. They arrested all the globalists. They threw them all in jail, every one of them. Iceland stood up for themselves. Now they're trying it with Switzerland. They're trying it with Sweden. I was the only person that was saying, look, folks, the war in the Ukraine is a big setup, because I was one of the few people that actually understood that the Ukraine is the #1 supplier of grain to the rest of Europe. So if America can get their hands on the Ukraine, they could bring in the GMO crop. And when they brought in the GMO, then the whole world would be submitting underneath the Monsanto order. I seen this coming. I warned you all about this 2.5 years ago in videos. Nobody listened, and now it's here. Ugh. It doesn't make me a psychic. It doesn't make me a prophecy. It doesn't make me anything special. It just makes me somebody who's read the Bible. Whether people want to believe in the Bible or not is completely irrelevant. They believe in the Bible, and they are making the Bible come true. And that's all that matters. The world leaders of today are making Bible come true, forcing it to come true. And if we all remember anything, Jesus stood on top of the temple with the devil. The devil was tempting him, saying, if you bow to me, I will give you all of this. That's what we are in the same situation again, where the devil is tempting us. Look at what is the Ukraine situation? The Ukraine situation is half of the people want to belong to Russia because they always belong to Russia. The other half want to go to Europe because there it seems like the grass is greener on the European side. So Ukraine is now fighting between each other. Half want to go to Europe and half want to stay with Russia. Clear entitlement right there to me. Wanting to have greener pastures. Wanting to see if the grass is truly greener on the other side. It's not greener. It's blacker. The European Union, man, is being used by the devil as a big fucking tool. So what do I think about the divide and conquer strategy? Not much. I think it's childish, cheap, and easy. I took notice of Iceland, but you're right. 2112 Spark wrote, Iceland is a shining example for the rest of the world, but nobody took notice. Folks, when the globalists tried to take over Iceland, the Icelandic people got together and arrested them all and threw them in jail, okay? That's like taking Hillary Clinton and throwing her in jail. It's like taking Obama and throwing him in jail. They had none of it. They wanted nothing to do with it. They've seen the scam for what it is. I mean, even today we got Putin saying, America, wake up. I can no longer defend you. I can't keep standing up for you guys, but you keep attacking me. You have to wake up. Russia has done nothing wrong at all. Ugh. If only people understood that the United Nations is being used as a tool against the public. The United Nations is the devil's playground. Absolutely. He runs the show there. I mean, how dumb are people? How dumb? They know that the Antichrist will rise up one day and he will be the leader of the most strongest nations. Well, to be the leader of the most strongest nations, you have to be the what? The president of the United Nations. So you know that the Antichrist will one day rule the United Nations. So therefore, you should know already that the United Nations is a part of the Antichrist system. You know, for a while there, I thought that Obama could be the Antichrist. And not because of what other people thought, but simply because of biblical prophecy. But then I saw too many mistakes. I seen that he was trying too hard to be the Antichrist, that therefore he couldn't be. But now I'm really wondering if Erdogan from Turkey really is the Antichrist or not, because I know the Antichrist is going to come from Turkey, and Erdogan has just declared himself as God. If Erdogan makes a peace treaty, man, we're in fucking trouble. Could you imagine that right now if Erdogan made a 7-year fucking peace treaty with Israel? I'll shit my pants. Then I'll know for sure he's the genuine Antichrist, man. That's the only thing he has to do right now to become the Antichrist, is to make a 7-year peace treaty with Israel. Once he does that, he is full-fledged Antichrist. He'll fit every prophecy. Let alone that we know that the Antichrist is going to come from Turkey. We already know that. There is a very fucking good chance that Erdogan is the Antichrist. I mean, really, I'm not a person that goes out and spews out the statistics. I'm not a person that would ever dare say the Antichrist is here. I would never dare blaspheme. I would never dare say something with such I would never be so simple to say something like that. I mean, I would have to fully investigate it. I would have to fully do my research. And I have done my research on Erdogan. And the thing is, he has 99.999% chance of being the Antichrist. And yet I still don't want to believe he's the Antichrist. I'm still waiting for that last percent. That last percent happens to be the peace treaty between Israel and Islam. If he makes that peace treaty, folks, if he makes that peace treaty, I guarantee you the world will come to an end within 3 to 4 years after he makes that peace treaty. You are talking about the planet dying, end of the lifetime as we know it, end of life altogether within 4 years if he makes a peace treaty with Israel. That is how close he is to being the Antichrist. Islam is already calling him God. You understand that? People of Islam are actually calling him God. He didn't call himself God, the people did. And he's living up to the role. This is scary. And I really am a person who would never really dare say, this is it, this is it, this is it. I'm not one of those Christians. I'm one of those Christians, those doubting Thomases. They keep saying, no, well, this hasn't happened yet, this hasn't happened yet, and this hasn't happened yet. And I know a lot, like 200 prophecies that have to happen before the Antichrist shows up, and Erdogan is filling a bunch of them. I mean, just the fact that Erdogan has flipped the flag. Has nobody paid attention to the fact that he's flipped the fucking flag? I bet nobody's paying attention to that. Erdogan has flipped the flag. No, dude, we didn't notice that, dude. We're too stupid in the world to notice that, dude. If you all know the flag from Turkey, it's a red flag with a crescent moon and a star, right? That's the flag from Turkey. But if you've noticed lately, on almost every major building that they've captured from the Christian world, be it the Hagia Sophia that they have captured, to all the temples in Turkey they have captured, every building in Turkey right now, the flag is being shown upside down. How many people out there have noticed that? Have you noticed that 2012 spark? That their flag is being flown upside down now? It used to be that the crescent moon would point to the left, and the star would be pointing to the left. Now, the crescent moon is an upside down moon, and the star is on the bottom. On all the buildings you look at, including the presidential building in Turkey, the flag is hanging upside down. And when you look at the flag hanging upside down, it becomes a whole different meaning. The crescent moon looks more like a blood moon now with an eclipse, and the star looks like it's falling from heaven, just like Satan falling from heaven. It's creepy how the flag is just flipped. They flipped the flag now 45 degrees for no reason. And nobody in the world has seemed to be picking up on this. I picked up on it. All the major buildings now in the Muslim world have flipped the flag by 45 degrees. Explain that one. I can show you guys. They have flipped the flag. And I'm sure many people don't think, oh, what's the big deal about flipping a flag? What's the big deal about flipping a flag? There's a big deal about that. Because when you flip the flag, it looks like it becomes a whole different symbol. Let's see here. And at first I thought, okay, maybe it's one or two buildings that they flipped. Maybe it's just one or two buildings that flipped the flag. But I noticed that it's all the major buildings in Turkey, the flags have been flipped upside down. I'll show you all. Hold on. And I didn't understand it at first, but now I understand the flag flip. And it's quite horrifying. Okay, folks. You can see my screen right now on my channel. I'm showing you a picture of the presidential palace in Turkey, where Erdogan lives. If you look in this picture, you will see that the flag is on the side of the building. You will see on one side there's a picture of Erdogan, and on the other side there's a picture of the crescent moon and the star. And if you notice, the flag has been flipped. And it doesn't look like it's a big deal. It's like, what's the big deal? It's just the presidential building, the flag has been flipped. All buildings in Turkey now, the flag has been flipped like this. But when you look at the flag this way, I'll actually get a better picture of the flag. Just give me a second to get a better picture. Oh, I stopped screen sharing. Okay, folks, here we are again. Here's the Turkish flag. And what we see in this flag is a crescent moon with a star. And the star is to the middle, right? But all the presidential buildings now and all the buildings that have importance to Turkey have flipped the flag now that the star is facing the bottom. And what that looks like then is a moon eclipsing with the sun and a star falling down, which is exact biblical prophecy. That's Satan falling from the sky during a blood moon eclipse. It changes the entire flag. And that's really scary because this flag has been around for hundreds of years, and we never caught on to that. And all of a sudden, Turkey is flipping their flag. I'd like to know why they're flipping their flag for. Their flag was, I can't show you. Now the star hangs on the bottom here, and this moon hangs above the top. And it looks like an eclipsed sun. During the eclipse, the star is falling. Just thought I'd share that with everybody. "2012 Spark wrote, I did not, but they would have us think of all as up as down." Do you mean the flag, Spark? Do you ever see the American flag flown upside down? No. It's always floating in the wind the proper way. Fuck. Point being, folks, they got a president now that's declaring himself God that flipped the flag that has changed the entire outlook on the flag to make it look like a falling star, which is exactly how Lucifer is described in the Bible, as a falling star. I do not believe in coincidence, ever, because I know that this planet was made by God and that we are following a script, that nothing is coincidental. Well, I wouldn't say everything is black as white and up as down. I'd say that everything is reversed, inside out. But I've made videos about that that says that the devil does everything in reverse. Hey, Spark, did you know that when God destroyed the Tower to Babel, that he destroyed it because he was afraid the humans were going to reach heaven? He actually said that if the humans continued the way that they were going to achieve their goal. The reason why God destroyed the temple that day, the Tower of Babel, is because we were getting close to God. We were going to reach him. Because there are portals on this planet that lead us to God. There are stairways to God. And mankind found one. Everything they want to know is everything that they want to know with CERN, the Bible already tells us. With that said, guys, I'm going to log off for the night. I'm still not feeling very well. I got that wound still going. So I'm going to make it an early night. Just like I said, though, everything that they're trying to do right now with CERN, the Bible has already told us about. So they're trying to recreate a Big Bang, a theory that never happened, while our Bible tells us exactly what happened. Science is stupid. Science has always been stupid, always will be stupid, and is always catching up to religion. With that said, have a great evening, everybody. This is War Does Fire. You all have a good night. See you all later. Take care. Bye-bye.